Hey, what's going on, guys? Crass Businessman here, and today I wanted to answer the question, is it better to go above and beyond? Today's quote of the day is, there's always the motivation of wanting to win. Everybody has that, but a champion needs, in his attitude, a motivation above and beyond winning. And that's by Coach Pat Riley. I always thought Pat Riley kind of looked like a mob boss, but anyways. So what's up, guys? I chose the topic of this video mainly because I came across a situation that was kind of less than stellar. Basically, another nightmare customer reared his ugly head and had me questioning whether it was a good idea that I went above and beyond. And in recent memory, it's actually bit me in the ass more times than I can count. But I'm starting to wonder, is this just pessimism? Or is it a healthy understanding of reality paired with experience? So let's go ahead and analyze it. In the construction industry, legally everything needs to be and should be done with a written contract. The contract should state in very specific terms what is going to be done, how much will it cost, and how long will it take. And if there's any miscommunication due to the vagueness of a contract, the law is actually in favor of the customer and states that the originator of the contract is usually at fault and responsible for damages or what have you. So in theory, one might look at this and say, okay, great, don't deviate from the contract. That's simple enough, right? But that's in theory. Because when a little old lady asks you if you could change out a vent cover in a room that you just painted, it's a little difficult to say no. Especially if the task is like really small or really easy to do. Because everything you do affects your reputation. If you come off as, the asshole who wouldn't change out a vent cover, it's going to affect your reputation. And it's going to affect your business. But where do you draw the line? How is it drawn? And this is basically how we get into the above and beyond discussion. Is it more beneficial to do people a courtesy by going above and beyond? Is it even doing them a courtesy? I would say yes and no. Yes, because it can positively influence your reputation, but also no, surprisingly so. And sometimes, it'll negatively affect your reputation. So check out this example. A client hired me to cut back a wall in her house to open up the floor plan. And this involved moving some switches, reframing, drywall, texture matching, corner bead, the whole nine. But while discussing the work, she was undecided as to whether she wanted to paint it the same color as the rest of the wall, or if she would repaint the entire house a different color. So she asked that we hold off on painting the new wall. In the contract, I made it very clear that we would not be painting the new wall, and so I priced it out as such. After seeing the new wall with the fresh drywall texture, she asked me, is there any way you could just paint it? I mean, it's, really small. Now, normally, I would make a change order and charge her accordingly. However, with this being, such a small area, I thought, maybe I could score some points by doing her a solid, by going above and beyond. And so I told her, hey, you know what? Tell you what, get me the paint, I'll throw it on there. So she fetched me some paint from her storage shed, and I warned her, I said, hey, paint really shouldn't be stored in areas that aren't climate controlled because they can change color slightly over time. And she replied, hey, don't worry, it's been in there long, it hasn't been in there long. I'm not really worried about it, I just want some paint on there. Fair enough. I painted the wall. It turned out to be a slightly different color. Turns out that she actually had two similar color paints in the same shed, and she had given me the wrong one. Well, when she saw the wall, she was fucking livid. And I mean, she acted as though, like, I raped and murdered her whole fucking family. Like, shaking, screaming, like, being completely irrational. It was ridiculous. I told her, hey, you know what? I just want you to be happy. So I'll go ahead and get new color paint, new paint rematched, or I'll get it color matched, and we'll get it looking perfect. It didn't make the slightest bit of difference. She remained pissed all the way throughout the end of the project, where she reluctantly paid me for my services and more than likely badmouthed me behind my back. So now this could be an isolated incident, and a more plausible explanation is that maybe I'm not great with customer relations. That's actually not plausible. That's actually just a true statement. I'm not good with customer relations. But the question is still there, should I have gone above and beyond? Well, experience tells me no, but there's a particular reason why. See, people's attitudes are very, very fickle. They polarize in an instant. They'll go from loving you to hating you at the flip of a switch. And when it comes to a service-based business, people pay way more attention to the bad than the good by a large margin. The main reason why you shouldn't go above and beyond in most cases is that the focus should be entirely on carrying out exactly what you said you would do. As a crude example, if you told someone, hey, I'll cut and edge your grass for $50 and I'll be done in about 2 hours. They say, okay. And you spend some of the time weeding it too because, you want to do a nice thing for them. It's a really nice thing to do and it's going to make it look better. But that ends up taking you, maybe another 30 minutes. Shockingly, many people will be completely blind to the fact that you did something extra by weeding and be way more fixated on the fact that you took 30 extra minutes, longer than your projected time. It's fucking bonkers, but this is reality. It's crazy how people will fixate on things even though you're going above and beyond. So it seems to be kind of an exercise in futility in most cases. So instead of going above and beyond, the better thing to do is to use all of your energy, carrying out exactly what you said you would do in exactly the way you portrayed you would do it. And there's a simple 3-step process to getting this done, because it's a lot harder than it would seem. The first step is to set proper expectations for the client, allowing for incidentals. Because things rarely go perfectly to plan, you need to make sure that the customer understands that you are committed to good and efficient work and they know what to expect. The second is being very specific in your verbiage. This encompasses pricing, show times, and completion times mainly. If the figures are ranged, that's perfectly fine, such as, we'll be on site between 8:30 and 9:30. It is the best way to avoid surprises, which are the death of a good client relationship. I can't even describe how many customers get so pissed if there's something on the bill that you didn't make over the top transparent and accurate. Even if it's only $1 more than you estimated. Fuck, even if it's just an estimate, they don't care. If it's a surprise, they don't like it. And more specifically when it comes to money, try to avoid phrases like, it should be no more than blank, or I'd say we can probably do it for blank. Because people like definitive answers because they convey confidence. Example, it's going to cost between $1,200 and $1,800 depending on the style you choose. Versus, well, we might be able to get it done for $1,200. It all depends. It's kind of the same thing, but doesn't the second one sound more shitty? The third thing you need to do is to have accurate calculations. If you can reasonably expect a job to take 10 hours, give yourself 15. Because the idea is that if you finish a job early, nobody's going to be upset. But if you finish a job, 1 minute late, you're probably going to lose that client for life. See, business is like the Congo fucking jungle. There's a way to survive, there's a way to thrive, and there's definitely ways to die. It's actually a pretty good quote. I might actually use that for another video. But that's about it for this video, guys. Once again, I'm Crass Businessman. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, please stay productive.